Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where I think we find ourselves in an increasingly grim situation here. Green is doing a really good job of boxing us in and kind of starving us out, and I don't know exactly what to do about it. I think, okay, if we're going to have a reasonable chance of getting back into this game, it's probably going to involve taking some stuff off of Green, which is a task that we are simply not up to. Right? But there are other people in this game. Maybe we can like conspire with Blue. Maybe if we could get Blue on our side, try to convince them to go to war with Green, and then, you know, in exchange for us also going to war with Green, Blue's armies could draw off a lot of Green stuff, and then we could like push in the backfield. We could just divide the spoils up. You know, not even necessarily evenly. I'll give Blue the lion's share. But it might be enough to get us back in the game if we could pull something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly that thing, but I think that is the general shape of the plan that might work. So in order to do that, we need to do a couple of things. First of all, we need something like that. In order to do a plan in that area, we're going to have to meet the other players. We're going to have to know way more about what's going on in the world. And we're going to have to develop basic diplomatic technologies, right? So does that make sense as the next thing? We do have pillar level ups to grab, and I mean, obviously those are important. We also still don't have extraction technology. And while we don't have as many resource deposits in general as I would like, or as I would expect for 6 regions, we still have some. Yeah, there's an adamantian, a couple palladian. We do need palladian too, don't we? Aren't we short? Yeah, right, because we need to make national museums, and we need to do that because our faction... Okay. So... Okay, maybe let's go smelting station into diplomacy. I do think that getting the diplomacy thing going quickly is important, but we don't even know the other players yet. So while this research is happening, we'll try to run some units over to meet Blue so that we can at least talk to them. And then after that, we can go for dust mechanics, maybe? Something like that. You know, it's at least a plan. All right, so what else do we need to do? We have you up here, but you're dead. Yeah, there's no escape there. So it's going to be you who are responsible for meeting Blue. How expensive would it be to equip you with a proper movement trinket? That is a lot of dust. It's probably worth it, though. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and then we'll split these two up into 2 different armies next turn, and in the meantime, is there any city that is okay? You're building an industry thing. I really want you to finish. Soth is still, it's not exactly killing down on population. Okay, I think it is. Mitanch is in fact the city that we can most afford to divert people in. Let's just go ahead and do this, right? We're gonna need more money for when the pillars run out anyway. How? Okay, 5 turns. Yeah, so we need to bank up some, and okay, I guess that's the plan. And I mean, we'll try sailing the Berdeki away, but there's no reason that they have to let it go. Actually, I guess move to here. Move to a tile that's not currently in a lightning storm. I think the weather only actually moves every other turn or something like that. Yeah, they're going to chase us down and kill us. Okay. Well, I gave it the old college try. Which is to say, I got distracted and then failed. As I so often do. You know, they're not actually... Okay, there it is. I was going to say, wait, maybe they're going to let it live, but there's the attack. Well, you give him hell, Berdeki. Okay, look at that. Look at that. 350 of 358. Got him. What are you gonna do? I guess we can, we can just reveal some land up here. Water, rather. Yeah, we should get a better idea of what the map looks like, and also, there could be sea ruins or something. But just in general, we gotta get out and integrate ourselves into the world a little bit. Okay, so everybody's building important stuff. We are making money. A central market would actually be really useful here. Yeah. And, you know, we're continuing to build toward the things that we would need to be in position to stage a comeback. Really, it's the best we can do. You can totally win an internal victory on a relatively small country. Honestly, like 6 regions is maybe not even unreasonable for that. Without meeting most of the other players in the game, it is a thing that is possible, but it's not a thing that's possible from the position we find ourselves in right now. Okay, luxury booster costs have risen. That actually is very bad. So, help by activating luxury boosters from the 2nd tier. Not a thing that's actually easy for us to do. So right now we are boosted, and we're going to be able to reboost the emeralds, but not the gold. 53 is, yeah. All right, this is this is not ideal. All right, what do we want you to build now? You actually don't have a lot of interesting options. Also, most of the watchtower bases in this region are in terrible positions. Look at this. What is the value of this watchtower? We could build one here and it would kind of see out to the ocean a little bit. So maybe the thing to do here is just to build military units. I mean, we're going to want to put up a smelting station in 2 turns, but we can build the start of a military unit. Also, Kajnor can build things. Okay, and Kajnor has, like, meaningful stuff still to make. In fact, a central market would be very good here indeed. Yeah, all right. We'll go meet some people. Hopefully things will turn out in our favor. Who knows? Maybe Blue's already looking for a reason to go to war with Green. You know, this sea region over here is green, and Blue cannot be happy about that. They even have docks and stuff. Like, they clearly were at least considering it. So we could get in the water here this turn, or get in the water closer to Blue next turn. There's a lot of cliff. I guess this is what I want to do. Can I get... Oh, there's cliff there too. All right, that'll work. That's fine. The specialized polyp 2D. I think we're just heading through Waste Not, Want Not up to, like, winter immunity, and then we'll come back and finish stuff. The minus consumption skill is actually really powerful in large cities. With the size that we just saw that, my suspicion is it's probably not very good for us right now. I mean, this is going to end up being, like, you know, some food. How much consumption are we doing right now? Okay, -5 with the 50% applied, so that skill point was effectively +5 food. Not good, but it'll get more powerful as the city continues to grow. And this is another place where we are definitely going to want to be starting smelting stuff next turn. I guess we can start building a military unit here too. Let's get in the water over here somewhere. And Endiger still doesn't even have right of way. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of basics that we're missing here. It's turn 75. Do I think it is still worth starting an apprenticeship registry? Honestly, I don't know. That would take 4 turns. I think we really want to start the Here, let's grab this and just roll over some extra industry, because we really want to start the extractor next turn. And we do in fact have, there it is, adamantium. I had seen the resource layout moments before I started speaking, and somehow in that time, already forgotten where on the damn screen it was. Pillars run out in 2. We probably want to go ahead and just replace them rather than trying to wait for the pillar upgrade, because yeah, it's going to be 3 turns plus probably like 4 turns. So yeah, we'll do one more set of level 1 pillars. And actually, that'll give us a good opportunity to see something that I'm actually pretty curious about. Let's hold off on putting our units in the water until after the AI has moved. Gold booster running out. Very, very bad news for us, it turns out. All right, let's get these extractors going. Over here, definitely want the Palladian first. This region actually has both. You can finish your Berdeki afterward. How are you supposed to have Berdeki if you haven't even had your extractor? In Kajnor, we could probably bump people over to Dust to help remain level for the moment. Because how many turns is it going to be before we can rerun the gold booster? That's a shame. It takes 1 more gold than 4 turns. So yeah, we definitely don't want to be draining 30 dust per turn for 5 turns. That seems like a bad idea. Okay, there are in fact ruins around. Let's go get them. And there's a possibility that we'll meet blue right now just by jumping in the water here. Okay, they don't have any ships around. Well, it'll happen in the near future. So for the moment, lots of important stuff getting built. I mean, we're definitely gaining in power. And we are ramping up in our gaining of power. We're building better things faster. Still might be a little too slow, though. We may be too far behind. All right, show me cool stuff. Show me 3 awesome technologies. Just all of the loot. You know, 150 dust, honestly, I'm pretty happy about. Okay, black spot was lifted off of brown. Let's go say howdy to blue. All we have to do, there we go, is get close enough to get mutual vision. And we're 2 turns off of being able to actually talk to you. What we can do right now is, oh, sorry, that's not what I want. This. Okay, you have no particular relationship with anybody that we know. Everybody's just kind of standing around and looking at each other awkwardly. All right, so it is time to lay down the pillars. I do not know if pillars that are already down will automatically upgrade when you gain a level on your pillar technology. My guess is that they won't. This will be a good opportunity to test that assumption. So, do I think we still want to be putting down food pillars, or do we need the science boost right now? We maybe could use a little kick. So let's go to a city that has multiple districts and just lay down a couple pillars of knowledge. We are 1 to 20 turns away from winter. I'm gonna not put down a 3rd one, just because I don't know exactly how bad it's gonna be once winter starts. We may end up needing all of our dust. So okay, that's happening. Important buildings are happening. We'll get there. For right now, you can probably just back up. We could look for sea ruins over here as well. Maybe step ourselves outside of Blue's territory might be a good idea. And can you make it? You can. Let's go get some more ruins. Nothing. Boo. Oh. I have been black spotted. So everyone can attack our units now, and anyone who kills one of our units gets some dust on top of what, all the things they would normally get. Accompanied by... Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was going to be a declaration of war from green. Well, it's definitely concerning. I don't like that blue immediately closed their borders on us either, because that definitely implies that they are viewing us in a hostile fashion. Yeah, I am perhaps more worried about our position than I was moments ago. Do I think it's worth building this? On 7 tiles. At this point in the game, it may be too late for that to for that to really pay itself off in this tiny city. I'm just gonna skip it. All right, build. Oh, hey, that is Sparkly's. Okay, you get over there. You probably just go off into the darkness, I guess. Let's go see if we can meet somebody else. And here comes our ability to actually negotiate with other players. Boy, you know what else I was not even considering in our haste to make sure we have enough resources for winter? It's about to be Empire Plan time. Alright, cool stuff. It was... okay. 80 dust, I'm pretty sure, is the smallest amount of dust that it is possible for us to find in a sea ruin. Alright, so 4 turns until the upgrade. Here comes green running through my territory looking for easy armies to pick off for dust purposes. Also, probably just getting the lay of our defenses, because remember, when you can see another player's city, you can tell how many units are in the garrison. Bad news for us. So that's easy enough. We can do this, which we probably will want to, but we cannot, say, do that. Yeah, 480 is definitely off the table, with it being turn 79. What would it cost to bounce green out of my territory? Wow, that's very expensive. So there's this black spot nullification term. We can just buy the black spot off. You can see it is currently increased by a hell of a lot due to the recency of the black spot. This will come down over time. But it's bad. It's bad news. We could issue a warning to them, which will lower the cost of closing our borders. So in like 5 turns, it'll be quite a bit cheaper. And I think I kind of think we should do that. This is potentially going to entice them to declare war on us. Like we're definitely taking a hostile footing here, but I think they're already planning to. So probably that's not a big change. And then you, my friend. What if peace? Okay. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility. If we were willing to give them some tech or something. They don't have highways, but they would like highways. So if we did that, let's say a declaration of war on green. Obviously, you're not a big fan of this plan, but let's consider here. They do like the granary. It's not out of the question. We can make up that difference. We can make up that distance. Obviously, we have to put together a tremendous amount of extra influence to make that happen. I'm curious here if there are any... Okay, they like our big supply of glass steel. They like the gold, although I also like the gold. What if we gave them... How much glass steel am I making per turn? Only 3. Because I'd like the peace as quickly as possible, but I also definitely need the gold to rerun, so I mean, we could just cough up the pearls. I don't love it. Giving them a technology would be a pretty strong way to go if we could afford it. The influence cost of doing that is so high. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna hold off. We're going to have to try to put together that amount of influence, frankly. Which is, I mean, that's a little tricky given that we want our cities devoted to other things so badly. Do they have Palladian? Because like if we could buy some Palladian off of them. All right, peace has to be on the table in order to even look. Oof. Okay, if we could buy like just enough Palladian to make one building. Yeah, all right. So basically, as soon as we have a museum up, we're going to be... Okay, we have one of these finishing now. I probably do need to move this city back over to industry. Like, we need to get that done. God, the dust booster being off is so bad for us. Let's hope to find another ruin or two. In fact, I am seeing a sea ruin, but I am also being routed to it in a very funny way, which means our unit here clearly has some information that I am not supposed to have. Ah, yes, our unit knew about the carpet of seaweed before I did. What is this? The Mycera have gotten to 15 districts. That's not a huge surprise there. Also, the Kapaku have taken the... Okay, was that the one that was still neutral? Like it had been down here for a while. I think that's the case. So interesting. I think we are in fact going to do this. I think I'm desperate for dust. We're gonna get that next turn. Boy, sure is lonely and quiet out there. Okay, it is definitely time to start building out some districts. You know what else we need to build is iceworks. We have a number of cities where the iceworks will be relevant, and we're coming up on that winter time. Matanch in particular would really would benefit very strongly from some iceworks. There's also, of course, the chapel. We have a number of 3 population cities. Man, I have not been squeezing the value out of our surroundings in a very effective way this game, I feel like. We've gotten some non-ideal circumstances for sure, but also, boy, I have not played us out of those circumstances at all. All right, so we got some Palladian income. We'll get down the museum in a couple of cities as quickly as we can, and once we have that, then we can move our faction quest forward and start making deals. I had to say I underestimated the cost, the price that making deals was going to have. There's tension in the air again. Bring back at least 3 embarked land units to the indicated sunken ruin for 25 grass silk. That is, unfortunately, not a thing that is trivial for me to do. Let's grab 14 bonus food. Seems pretty okay. So there's no point really in veering any closer to the coast. I would be reluctant to pick up any pearls out here in the neutral zone because I don't want blue getting mad at me for stealing their pearls that are definitely not theirs. Probably finish the Empire Mint first, right? And then also right of way, and then, oh my god. Oh, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff to get done. And we are only very slightly positive here. Do we want to put up another... Never mind. I probably want to build out some more districts in some of these cities just to make the National Museum more effective, but like for the faction quest, we only need one city to be going hard on influence production. So we can just build the thing and then bump the population of the city over to that resource. All right, so we want to keep an eye on our pillars here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're not going to upgrade, but this is a very good opportunity to test that. And I'm wondering if we should just bring the Warlock back home. It's not really going to cover a lot of new ground. We can see there's coast right there. And I want someone around for the purpose of pearl hunting once the winter starts. It's going to be soon. Okay, we can grab that. What is this? Okay. Yes, okay. Thank you, Red. You're not wrong, but it's still impolite. So yeah, La Tocho should probably grab that. My cities are becoming more marginally competent all the time. And I mean, we are getting buildings done pretty quickly. All right, so right now these things are producing 2 science each. Let's make sure we hit the get out of the way buttons that Warlock doesn't get jumped on the high seas. And it should only be one more turn after this before we can build our first museum. It really is a shame there's a ruin right there, because I want to build this city like down this way, but I want to build it in this column and this column so that we get more of the river. They would remove the black spot in exchange for a tiny bit of extortion. The thing is, I don't think I need the black spot removed all that urgently. All right, empty ruin, great news. Just exactly what we were hoping for. Yep, okay, still just 2 science for the pillar, no upgrade, not a big shock there. Okay, now they will give +5 per tile, which is pretty good. That more than doubles the output. We have met you because Chaka has been claimed by you. Interesting. So that was definitely one that was owned by blue. That definitely suggests some aggression. Oh, this is probably a fake mercenary army. Yeah. These kinds of troops don't naturally travel together like that. So, okay. The roving clans are feeling pretty aggressive, apparently, this game. So we got our pillar tech. What is next? If we're still talking about trying to build up enough science that we can challenge for a science victory should circumstances align, it is definitely important for us to get statistical methods and also also fluid biomechanics, but like a little less so. I do want Plow Factory, and Plow Factory is a lot of extra food. But as starved as we are on Palladian and as important as influence is for us in the near future, I think we probably wait on that. The other thing that we probably want to grab is Dust Refinery pretty soon. I'm going to get statistical methods first. So on-era technologies are at about 3 turns right now, which is not bad. We're behind on tech, but our rate of acquisition is pretty solid. And we can keep pushing. Ah, I see. This is why we met the roving clans, actually. Because they sent out a Skyfin. Well, I guess I'm okay with that. Yo, that's a Fire Guardian. What in the hell? Get away from the Fire Guardian. Just, you know, random spawns, no big deal. I guess at this point you just come home. Try to do so as safely as possible. Okay, so we want to put this up in probably here. Probably here is the first place that we do this. It is a very expensive building, 600 industry. Also, I gotta tell you, I'm a little nervous about the winter. Like, it's a good thing that it's been so slow. We want it to be slow, but also it's the anticipation. The anticipation is unpleasant. The suspense, never knowing when the economy is going to go entirely to hell. Although at least at this point, Matanch will gain a whole lot of industry when it happens. So we should definitely start building another museum in Kajnor as soon as we have the resources for that. And that'll give us the influence necessary to actually start making some deals. And yeah, in most places I think we... Whoa, that was a weird camera jump. In most places I think we do just want to build out toward the nearest anomaly. Yeah, just start getting some stuff leveled up. Do we want to stay on industry mode for this? If I move off, it adds 2 turns, but we're banking dust a lot more effectively. Huh. That's weird. What is the story with these troops? Are these like low-level... Give me a tooltip. Okay. I'm gonna engage them right now while we're by the cities. That neutral army just killed that Skyfin, which is to say this is not a neutral army because neutral armies do not kill Skyfins. So this is, I don't know if this is like a green, if green is messing with neutrals or something. They do have, I don't want to alarm anybody, but the Morgar do have mind control. So it's not impossible. You're going to start all the way back here, and you are not going to participate in this battle. This is a battle that will be resolved by militia units. I do not really get a lot of say in how this goes down, sadly. If they let you move, just make sure you get off the reinforcement space. Okay, good enough. Your job is to hide in the corner. So yeah, they're going to do a pretty standard... Oh, actually, they both went after the hero. I'm surprised by that. I was going to say they're going to do a pretty standard pin my units to the reinforcement spaces thing, which they absolutely should have done. Weird. Weird, random, hostile guys. Also, a quest was completed. Oh, cool. Also, you know what? We've definitely had enough... I spaced. We definitely had enough dust to do that. Okay, so we can probably defocus from dust in this city at the very least. Where was the other city that we were doing that? Maybe we defocus over here instead because this is where we're going to build the next museum. I want to get that rollover. So we'll leave this one dust focus so that we're still positive. And we don't currently know the locations of any pearls. I'm going to have this unit wait in Soth, I guess. Let's hide in the garrison over here, and that way we're ready to pick up the pearls that are potentially contentious. And also, hi, Red. I think it would be best for everybody if you just ignored me. I came across as a threat. I want you to understand I am in no position to threaten you. God, this is going to take forever. Well, we can reassign people from... Okay, like I'm going to reassign all these people to influence. We need the influence to make deals. And we cannot wait for the damn museums. Industry is definitely a thing that we're still a little soft on here. Fanning out into larger regions is certainly going to help with that. Man, in a world where we actually finished that megapole, situation's very different. Oh, I accept. Huh. You know, everybody wants friends, especially in tough times. Okay, hold on. Kajnor is getting a national museum. It'll only take 5 turns there, so that's good. In the capital, we can start working on an advanced alchemy lab. It is going to take 1,000 years to complete. And it's not even that good yet. I think we probably would rather just build districts for the moment. So let's build... Obviously, I'm reaching out for this, but let's build in such a way that we're actually getting our... Oh, sorry, hold on. Is that how I want to build for pillar purposes? So ordinarily, what I like to do with a city that's trying to cover a large amount of its district is build like that 2-row or 2-column line city. But if we're going to put down pillars at maximum effectiveness... I guess what we could build here and here and here. So if we build the city in little diamonds, then the spaces in between the points of the diamonds, if we drop pillars there, all of the tiles of the pillar will be exploited by at least one of those districts. So actually, this probably is still sensible. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, we're getting close to the end of our current set of pillars. You're just going to live in Soth for the moment. Looks like Red is, in fact, going to allow me to make it home safely, which I really appreciate. And I gotta say, very surprised. Very surprised that Blue just jumping to peace with me. Oh, apparently they jumped to peace with everybody. Ah, and they're at war with Pink. We reached the part of the game where people are starting to make friends. Red and the roving clans are at war, which I have to imagine is bad news for the roving clans. But the fact that Green is friends with Blue does put a damper on my brilliant plan a little bit. So if I were able to talk you into war with Green, what would it cost me? Yeah, okay, technology no longer even brings the bar back onto the screen. Okay, they're just not going to do this at this point. Well, we need somebody to turn on Green, and I think we're unlikely to be able to get Red or Lilac to do it because they're busy with each other. And because we're behind, a situation of peace and stability is disadvantageous to us, right? We need upheaval. When you're ahead, making friends with your neighbors is absolutely the best thing you can possibly do. But people in a position of weakness prefer chaos and fear. So I don't know how we're going to engineer such a situation, frankly. This seems like very bad news indeed. Oh, you know what? Now that we have peace, sorry. One thing I did want to trade for. Okay. Not a terrible time for winter, all told. I think this is okay, actually. One thing that I definitely did want to trade for, though, was maps, right? If we can get Blue's maps, we can turn the world around a little bit for us. It is a shame that we are now going to have to do winter pillars instead of our good summer pillars. For the end of this winter, have luxury boosts active. Listen, I'll try, man. I'm trying so hard to dismiss stuff, but you know, the beginning of turn jitters. Oh, hey, Green, how's it going? I am not, in fact, going to bribe you. That's just not going to happen. Chaka has been reclaimed by the Kapaku. It's alright, our Zealot will make it back to land next turn before we are killed. Major faction unit costs up, minor faction down. That's cool. We could build some Berdeki, I guess. So, okay, we're making it home quickly. Do I want to pop both of these armies out? I guess that's the best thing for covering as much ground as possible, right? Let's just quickly search the border region in particular for pearls. Sorry, do that. Do the thing that actually picks up a pearl. Yeah, I guess stop off and grab that. Okay, so you're gonna make it to safety. Everybody else is doing things that need doing. And we are going to put down some more pillars. Oh, I was misunderstanding. It's more. It's not +5 or +3. It's +5 and +3. So actually, we love the pillars during the winter. Do I want to put down more? I think I do. So, given the plan that we have here, let's go ahead and put this down right there. I guess, actually, sorry, this one should have gone right here. We're not exploiting these tiles yet. One more would be 210. That brings us pretty broke, actually. How long would it take to finish that if I really rushed it? I am gonna put the one more down. All right. We have a real rate of science output here. Probably a little bit faster than we can actually make use of, given sort of the poor industry output of our cities. Gotta make sure we hit this execute orders button, because desperately need to escape. I will say that one thing that I am a little confused about in Humankind is why they made it harder to access the fulfill your orders command. Units now, it seems like in Humankind, you can't give the follow orders that already exist command to any units until you have commanded all of your units that don't have pre-existing orders, which it seems a little strange. That may well be like the game is not finished yet thing, though it may work the way that I'm used to in the final version. All right, so what's up? Red is telling me we share friends, and they have offered peace, and I am definitely into peace with a player that is powerful and distant. The Throne of Emperors was constructed. Actually, I guess it's to our benefit to know. Okay, it was green who did it. So when red said we have common friends, the only thing they could mean is blue, because that's the only friend we have. I wonder if we can get red to turn on green. We don't know where their city actually is, but they do have Khazar right here. Okay, that's got to be their actual border, right? Is that an Urkin in a boat? I was going to say, why do we have vision of that boat? But it must be because it is an Urkin. You know, it happens. Sometimes there's a good reason to do that. Okay, so we're running around, we're grabbing pearls. You, of course, are going to grab these ones. And that's going to be enough that we can build some chapels, which is good news. Or potentially pray, I guess. It may well be worth it to pray. So we've got a fair amount of influence stored up. I guess let's go and probe red a little bit on their willingness to declare war on green. Because the thing is, like, that would be sort of a best case scenario for us, right? If green wanted to actually fight back, they'd be sending their troops like really far away. We want to engineer a situation where green is too busy to defend themselves. I should definitely actually build this watchtower. This one in particular would be really helpful. And in fact, we can throw a quick watchtower on the end of this queue. Hooray, finally, flat industry bonus. At this point, I think you're probably just headed back inside. And that'll help a little bit with the dust. So we can't afford to pull Soth off of dust focus at the moment. This probably is what we want to be building, though. And then we are 2 technologies from the next era. Supplies of Palladian are getting to the place where we could actually afford to build these. Do we want to grab this and, like, fluid biomechanics? Fluid biomechanics is a little bit more compelling when your city populations are higher. Because obviously the large-scale aquatic center is useful even in places that don't actually have coastal, like water. I think I am going to grab Plow Factory and then we'll decide. A thing that we haven't really taken yet, and that we may want to consider, is stockpile technologies. By default, activating a food, industry, or science stockpile gives you 100 of the indicated resource. If you pick this technology up, it adds 500 to the value of a stockpile. And then there's another technology in the next era that adds 1,000. Stockpiles are almost not worth playing with. Maybe in the very early game, they could be a thing. But for the most part, they're not worth playing with unless you have at least one of those technologies, preferably both. Because they're expensive to acquire either through building them yourself or through purchasing them from the marketplace. And they are not worth an amount of resources commensurate with their cost. Okay, so let's shift some things around here. We have one of these little cities focused on influence. We can get that back to focusing on things that matter a little bit more. We can bump Matanch over to influence now. Uh-oh, the Cat's Paw. One of my villages has been unpacified. This is a thing that green can do. It's that one, I assume. Yep. So Green has convinced the people of the Hernas of that village that in fact they do not care for me. This is a thing that we're going to have to deal with. Because that's a point of population they just took out of my mouth. That's a weird way to say it. I hear it now. That's a weird way to say that, but you know what I meant. Also, spying. Successful spying in Kajnor. Yeah, we are kind of starting to gain back into the game a little bit, and I think Green is noticing that and is trying to step on us here. Fakir was grabbed by Purple, who is Wild Walkers, it looks like. One of the few players we do not yet know. Yeah, all right. Something's got to be done here. What would it take to get you to declare war on Green? More than we can give, it would seem. Yeah, not for symbiosis, not for nothing. Is Green still showing up as just being the most powerful player in the world militarily? No, actually. Maybe Red's in worse shape than we thought, being at war with the roving clans and with Pink now. Sadly, we cannot buy the roving clans into declaring war on Green because that player cannot declare war on people. How on earth did this war even happen? What was going on in Red's mind that they decided it would be a good idea to attack a player like that? So you're at peace with Green. Yeah, Green doesn't really have to kill us. They can absolutely just sit there and be stronger than us and watch us slowly die. I am not at all sure what the right thing to do is in the face of that reality. So I think we're going to merge these units up and go clear that village again, hopefully. Okay, maybe the move is we gotta form a coalition here. Out of curiosity, how would you feel about peace? It's not that unreasonable, actually. We could get peace pretty easily with you. Okay, here's my plan. We're gonna make friends. We're gonna build up some positive feeling here. And I know that two of them are also friends with Green, but that's exactly why Green will never see this coming. And we will just, we'll orchestrate a brilliant backstab. When will that actually occur? I have no idea. Will it be before Green has won the game? Maybe. The answer to that question is a resounding maybe. Boy, am I going to be able to take down Hernas with just these units? Am I going to need help? I mean, if we catch them close to the city, maybe? If we catch them close to the city, maybe. All right, so we're getting lots of stuff done here. I would love to have a museum in this city as well, if we could just get that done quickly. I mean, then again, I also just really want to push population here. Is Green just running a Guardian through my territory? Did I totally space on... Oh, right, I can't close my borders to them while I'm black spotted anyway, can I? Any empire can come in your empire and... Yeah, okay. I did totally space on closing my borders in time with the warning, but also it didn't matter because they probably put the black spot up partially so that we would not be able to do that. All right, so there's those Hernas. And I guess it's time to fight. So what are their stats right now? They're not actually very good. All right. As is often the case, let us make them come to us and let the militia do the primary fighting here. I know you're eager. Just chill out for a turn. I am going to let the warlocks run up since we go after they do. Yeah, you can't actually move forward safely at all. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Okay, for sure it is time to do some damage here. So I'm going to move to right there. They're actually going to wound my hero out, though. Wow, that was such a bad job. It's shocking what a horrible job that Bernecki did. I could not have predicted. How is it still alive, though? I think what we're seeing here is that all of my units are garbage, on account of I have not equipped them with things. Combat XP is pretty good for a governor, though. We are at 6 population right now, so this would be 6 food. I think we're better off just pressing up through inspirational leader. So we need to try to get the village reconverted. I think here we probably need to focus on dust. Boy. Okay, so in a national museum's not really going to be all that effective. We can get this titanium extractor up really quickly. And then, yeah, try to build the dust refinery. I mean, if we have to keep that city dust focused, it is going to take a while. So we are, like, I do feel like our cities are seeming a little bit more capable now, which is good, obviously. But I don't know if it's good enough. I don't know, we might be just sort of hopelessly behind. By the way, there is no way to stop Green from being able to do this to us. If we make friends with them, they'll stop on their own, probably. But there's no, closing borders and stuff would not stop them from being able to do that. Closing borders on them would at least stop them from being able to do it to stuff that's like deep inside our territory, because they wouldn't be able to see the villages. But something like this on the border with their land, we would never be able to stop them. So you can bribe the city to the village to come back. You cannot request once they've been wrested away by mind control. Or you could just murder him. 146. I am allowed to do this, right? Okay, yeah. So we'll just hang out here and we'll do that next turn. Yep, that's true. I did not even attempt to do that quest. Boy. I would really like it if this was the new winter effect, because this will have almost no effect on us. Both of these would actually be very annoying. So I'm gonna put some prayers on that. Let's get that to 10, and hopefully the AI won't overrule me. Get away from my pearl. I see what you are doing. How dare you? Okay, so we are going to go ahead and stay dust focused in our various cities for a moment here. I think we want to build up a little bit of a cushion, and then we can redirect. We might want to acquire a combat hero as well. That may be worth doing. Just having an actual commander for my army would certainly increase our ability to blow up villages. So I don't think we actually need Reaping Station because we only have like one deposit of that tier. Cargo docks is not useful for us immediately. The dust pillar, you know, it's gonna pay itself off some of the time at least. You gotta give it that. I do think that the spell here that just blows up units is probably pretty good. Do we have? We do not have the stun. You know what? I'm gonna go back and grab the stun. That seems like an incredibly useful spell, especially if we're fighting militarily superior opponents, which we may end up, that may be a thing in the near future. So it does cost them some resources to flip the village. Every time it costs them some influence, which they may or may not have spare. So I'm hoping that they will just not immediately reflip this, because it would be a terrible waste of my resources. But like, I really want the point of population that this village represents. I'm not going to give you tech to open your borders. You, on the other hand, tech in exchange for a large amount of resources is maybe compelling. Zarcha Atenal, at this point, heading for the big science boost probably is pretty reasonable. Kajnor needs to build probably a dust refinery. Okay, so let's talk about removing the black spot that is allowing them to harass me in my own territory. It has come down quite a lot, and if we do knock it off, it will cost quite a bit for them to reapply it. Obviously, it works the same way. Like, right, it's very expensive for them to reapply it immediately, and then the cost will come down over time. But I think I do, in fact, want to do that. You can just go ahead and retreat. And they will not be able to attack me again. I think I'm just meeting up with this. I don't know what I'm doing unit-wise. Probably we're just throwing these into the garrison in South, actually. And then are there pearls? Okay, there are pearls worth getting on the other side of the Empire, so the fast unit can just run for those. Okay, we're definitely not doing this thing. I don't care about the borders being open. Yep, that's true. I do force my decision upon you. This is maybe interesting. Is there something else you might be willing to give me? Like, what about fun technologies? You know, I do need topography. Glory of Empire is fine. Fireship is not very interesting to us. Imperial coinage actually might be. We don't have meritocratic promotion, but if we're going to end up in a war, we do need it. So we could pick up some higher tier stuff, potentially. Although there's no point in trading for Signal Corps, right? Because like meritocratic promotion is the same technology. I might do this. So you can see the term that they put on the table, they still pay that part, but we pay the part that we put up. Yeah, I'd be willing to do this thing. This will push us into the next era immediately. It's a tech we do need. And I am trying to make Pink like us enough that they'll be willing to turn on someone on our behalf. So we do want to leave some green in that bar. Wow, really? One source of each. This is okay, this is definitely better, though. A lot of hydromiel. This is a tough game, resource-wise. We have not done well in our tiny little territory here. I do think I still want to finish Arcana of Authority. I think that stun is going to be meaningful. That's +1 for spells, which is obviously less compelling. So, I actually think the first real technology of this era that we're going to pick up is Hospitality Den. If we are allied with somebody, I think we're going to be able to press that into asking them for favors a little bit more easily. And if we now refocus some people on industry, let's see, I definitely want to stay. Would popping this get us over a threshold anywhere? Kajnor's at 87.5. The answer is yes. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to, I want to pop a reasonable empire plan here. So, like, at the very least, I would love to be able to do that. 600, is that feasible in 7 turns? Yeah. Yeah, that totally is, right? We've got the thing here as well, so we can jump a bunch of our population over to influence output when we get closer to the end. Yeah, we can make 600 happen. So we don't want to move people from Matanch over to industry. In Alondarin, we're still on dust, but we could afford not to be in exchange for getting the big dust building done faster. I think, yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea all the way around the Empire. All right, let's run one more turn here. I'm gonna wait for this thing to move because if we just walk around it, we're gonna lose movement points to its zone of control. So let's let green do some stuff before we go moving our own unit. Yep, the hero who was poisoned has been knocked out. How expensive is that recovery going to be? 247? Okay, I do need to move people back over to dust. Huh. They did in fact just re-black spot me. Well, that's a lot of influence. That was quite expensive for them to cat's paw me, and then they probably dropped like 1,000 influence on that. So that's not very smart on their part, in my opinion. I guess get in the water? Like, yeah, let's get back over it. Like, we got pearls to collect. I really thought this unit was dead. Okay, maybe you didn't need to get in the water. Yeah, I thought this unit was under the survival threshold for a retreat. They lived with 1. All right, well, we've encountered. Oh, right, because the AI are moving their Urkins around. Okay. So we can't really afford to do a lot of deal making, I suppose, if we're planning on doing a 600 cost empire plan. That is going to really occupy most of what we're going to be accumulating over the next 6 turns. Yeah, bummer, man. So let's see. That's 15 to unlock plus 15 to build. So we don't actually have enough pearls to do this yet. Oh wow, so somebody else put another 5 votes on that thing. So this is definitely the winter effect we're getting. Very pleased about that. So we're coming over here to get how many pearls? That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. All right, so we're going to be able to build 1 chapel. But like, you know, in Kajnor, that's an extra 3 population. In Endigir, it would be an extra 3. In Matanch, it would be an extra 3. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing. Also, there's a pearl deposit right there that I was missing. All right, let's just make sure that you're running as far away from that demon as you can, as quickly as you can. We're not even going to stop to pick up these pearls. Just get the hell out of there. All right. And I think that is where we're going to call this for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We are going to have to figure out some kind of big flashy plan to get rid of green. But honestly, I think we're kind of catching up in terms of science. I know that our raw science output probably isn't as impressive as many other players, but that's not that relevant because we are researching lower techs, right? It's number of techs that matter. So as long as we're continuing to take on new techs every 2 to 3 turns, that's rate enough to kind of catch up. It's just we're going to have to drive our science levels way up as we're hitting Era 6. And I'm not sure that we have the build for that. I'm not sure that we have enough bodies or enough land, just in terms of the number of districts that we've claimed. So we're not 1,000% out of it yet. There's still some possibility, I think, especially if we can work some diplomatic stuff. But we're definitely in a situation where we need a lot of things to go right. So come back next time to see if they do, and we'll see you then.